and welcome back to another video. My name is Funny. In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite books of 2018. The end of the year is near, or it is the end of the year when I'm posting this. There is only like 2 days left until it's 2019, which is so sick. This year has passed by really quickly and I have been waiting to film this video for so long. I always love to watch the favorite books of 2000 the year videos. I love them so much. They are so interesting. I love to hear about people's favorite books and them explaining why it's their favorite book, and just to see the best book that has been out of the year. And if I have not read them, I'm making sure I pick up them in the upcoming year. So anyways, in this video I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite books of the year. They are all so good, and I just want to start, but before I start I just want to take a moment and I want to thank you so much for over 200 subscribers. I have reached much more than I anticipated to do this year. This year was the year I hit 50 subscribers. I never thought I would do that even, and then I hit 100, then I hit 150, and now I'm at 200, and it was so surprising to me, and I'm so thankful for all of you who are subscribed to me. I'm so happy that I'm doing this, and I really love to do this as a hobby, so I'm so glad you like it and want to subscribe to me. Anyways, now we are soon at a new year, and I want to give something to the best authors and the best books I've read this year, so here we have this video. If you are new to BookTube or haven't really watched videos like this, you might not know what I'm gonna do, but I have 10 books and I will rank them from the 10th best book of the year to the first best book of the year, like my favorite one. And I will start with the worst best book, like top 10, and then I will go down to the one best book of the year. So it's kind of simple, and I think that we should just start to get on with this video. The 10th best book I read this year was Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elirasanes. This book was a book I hadn't really heard of. Then I did one of those on my Instagram. I did one of those like, what's your favorite book? Please let me know, because I was interested in what the favorite book of people were, like the absolute favorite one. And I think 3 people said this one, and it was like 6 people who sent me their favorite books. So, but it was like 50%. It was a lot of people who thought this book was the best one, so I was like, I really need to read it. So I bought it, really loved it. It was a beautiful story. So yeah, now we only have 9 books left, and the 9th one is The Martian by Andy Weir. So I really enjoyed this book. I was so fascinated by how much facts and like logic there was in this book. I knew it was about someone who had accidentally been stranded on Mars, you could say, and I knew it was gonna be about that, but this was so like factual. Is that even a word? I don't even know. But like, you got to follow the whole process of like how he survived, and it was not just like, yeah, I planted potatoes. You got to follow the whole process, and Andy, the author of this book, he must be a genius. Like, he must know so much about everything. It was very, very structural, and you got to like follow all the steps really manually. Like, you got to hear him say all these words about how he built that into that one and how he did that, and I don't even know, I understood like a third of it, not even that, but it was just so interesting, and I was so inspired by this author. Like, damn, Andy, you should like go to Mars, because you could definitely survive. So yeah, but this book was very interesting for me, especially as an astrophysics nerd or just space nerd in general. It was very interesting to see how it actually is to be an astronaut. The 8th book is a book that I felt like I was a little late reading, probably a year after everybody else, but the book is Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. This book, I loved it so much. This is in Swedish, you might see. So everybody read this in like, was it even 2017 or 16? I don't know. It was a while ago that he released this book. I really love the Chase trilogy by Rick Riordan. It's my favorite series of his. I love Magnus a lot and all the other characters, and I love the Norse mythology in these books. So yeah, it was just really a great book. I read this while I was in Norway as well, which was just the ultimate experience. experience, because they are in Norway, a part of the journey in this book, and I see him talk about the big mountains, and I sit by a big mountain and I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. So that was just an awesome experience. I loved it a lot. Great. I'm very sad that there are only 3 books in the series, since I really loved it a lot. But yeah, it got on my top 10 books of this year, even though I'm a little late with this. Another book, or the 7th book on my list, is another book that is a non-fictional book, and it is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I feel like I've talked about this book a lot in the past. Neil deGrasse Tyson is absolutely one of my favorite astrophysicists. I think that's his title. I think he has several titles, so don't trust me that he is just an astrophysicist. He knows so much about space. I loved his series on Netflix. It was before it, now it's gone. Broke my heart. Cosmos, a Space-Time Odyssey was the name of that series. Go check it out if you have not. But this book was just so interesting to me. I learned so much. I really want to reread it. I really recommend you to read this if you like me, like astrophysics, but are in a hurry or don't know much about it. It was the great, first book to read, I think. The 6th book is a book that I love this book so much, and it is Biography by Christina. This book, it had me dead. I didn't specifically read it in a day, because I started it at midday one day, and then I read it for the whole day, and then I stayed up until 4. I read it, and then I fell asleep, and then when I woke up at 10, I started to read it again, and then I finished at 12. So I didn't read it in one sitting, but less than 24 hours at least. This book was so good. I thought I would like it, but I really loved it more than I thought I would. It was so interesting to follow these people. It's about 2 boys who fall in love, basically, and one of them lives in a very Christian family, very believing, very not supporting of gay rights, and just the struggles to him admitting that he finally is gay, and then he really wants to be with this guy, but then he wants to be with his family and he fears to tell his family, and all of that. It was so interesting to follow. So this book learned me a lot, and definitely one of my favorites in 2018, and if you haven't read it, I really recommend you to. Had me in tears. So interesting to follow this. I loved it. Now we only have 5 books left, and I'm gonna try to speed this up a little because I feel like I have talked way too much and I want to talk about my favorite books. But anyways, the 5th best book of 2018 that I read was Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I read this year. I think most people read it last year. I don't really remember. The movie came out this year. Anyways, it was so good. This book, I love this book so much. I have a lot of reasons why I love it, but I really relate to Simon a lot, and I feel like this book was so fun and interesting to follow. So the 4th book is a book that might surprise you that I read in 2018. I don't know, does it? I don't know. Anyways, the book is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. So I feel like it was such a long time since I read this book, but apparently I read it in 2018, which feels so weird to me. You all know it was amazing. The Six of Crows duology, or it's gonna be a trilogy now, I don't know. These books are amazing. It was just a great ending and cute, and I love the story. Now we are on top 3 books, and all of these books, I just want to say, they are extraordinary. They deserve everything ever that has been given to a book, awards like no one else. And this 3rd book was a book that surprised me a lot. All of these 3 books are actually books that I read in December this year, which is just so sick. December has been the best reading month for me this year because all of the books were so amazing, and the book on the 3rd place is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I feel like everybody is gonna have this on their list for this year. This book was so amazing. You might know or may not know, I have a very hard time crying. I am not a person who cries easily in movies, sad movies and sad books, and that I usually never cry. I feel very sad inside, but tears are really hard for me to get through. But I started crying on page 20 in this book, and then I cried like 5 times throughout the whole book, which is so sick since I never cry. So I was so surprised and I loved it so much. Such an interesting story, love the characters. It's just a great book. I can't wait to see the movie. I am anticipating to, but I have not yet, but I will as soon as possible, and this book was amazing. So yeah, you already know. If you have not read it yet, you are probably going to do it because everybody's gonna tell you to do it. And now we are on to the top 2 best books of this year. I could probably give one the first place and one the second one, but I feel like they are so even. Like, the other one is better in one way, and then the other one is better in one way, and they are so even. So I want to show them both at the same time because I feel like they are so amazing. And if you have followed me, you already know which books I'm talking about. Anyways, the top 2 best books of 2018 that I read are...
I'm excited. I've never been so excited. Well, except for the time that I saw you walking into town and I went, oh, but I mean, really, who can top that?
Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer and Queen of Fire and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. These books, they can just, like, I want to be buried with these books, basically. No, but I loved these both so much. This book, great. I loved it. I love Cassandra, as you may know. Lord of Shadow, I have like doubted feelings about this, because in one way I feel like it was awesome, but then in another way I feel like it's still awesome, but in one way I feel like it's 5 out of 5 stars, and then in another way I'm like, 4 out of 5 maybe? It's a great build-up for the future series that Cassandra is writing, however, so this feels like a middle final, if that makes any sense. Anyways, Arch Enemy was also so good in every way. I loved it so much, but this one was as well a great build-up for the 3rd and last book of this series, the trilogy, Renegades trilogy by Marissa Meyer. So I feel like these both fit in the 1st and 2nd place together. I can't choose because they are both great build-up books and I love them equally, and this one is thinner than this one, so like it would seem unfair to like rate this higher because like this one is less of text, so like, and it's still as good. So yeah, anyways, I have them both on the 2nd and 1st place. So these were all my favorite books out of 2018. I love them all so much. I really recommend you to go read them all if you have not. I don't really have anything more to say in this video other than thank you so much for this year. It has been an amazing year for me. I want to thank you so much for all your support and everything that has been happening this year. I can never believe I would reach this goal in both subscribers, and like I have developed so much as a person. So I want to thank you so much for that, and I can't wait until 2019. Anyways, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you haven't, and yeah, that was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.